Welcome to Kardec Radio, where you nourish your soul daily. As you wait for our next program, The Medium's Book, visit Kardec Publisher at kardecpublisher.com to check out our latest books. Also, check out our Kardec Flicks, Spiritism in a Click. Just go to kardecflix.com. And now with you, our host, Dr. Vanessa Anseloni, with the program The Medium's Book. Enjoy it.
Welcome, dear friends, to Kardec Radio, another program, The Medium's Book. Have you studied this book before? In a day, tomorrow, April 18th, we will be studying about Spiritism. More and more, 168 years of Spiritism. And here we are, you and I, 168 years later, in the United States of America and other countries in the world, studying about Spiritism in English. It began in French, and then it's spread out to the world. And today, we're going to study another chapter of the Medium's Book. Kardec, in 1861, published the Medium's Book. So you and I, learn more about our mediumship. See this. There was a time like 100 years ago, till like last century, basically, the beginning of the last century. Children were not expected, all of them, to go to school. If you had to work as young as a child to help your family, you would. Nowadays, we say, no, every child has the right of learning, going to school, and not being laborious to bring money. Now, think about this. You and I are studying about mediumship. For now, many people don't know much about it, don't study it, don't know what to do with it. Make no mistake, give it some more time, and we'll be studying mediumship in schools. And then bully is gonna disappear. What else is gonna disappear? All sorts of craziness. Why? Because we're gonna understand that we need to discipline ourselves, mind and bodies, in order to live well. Sometimes we speak things we don't know. Sometimes we do things we don't know of as well. So, I am sharing this with you because as we celebrate 168 years of Spiritism tomorrow, today we're studying about one specific time of mediumship, the phenomenon of direct writing and direct voice. What is it? There is a specific name, okay? All right. And I'm going to share the slides with you. All right. So here we go. I am sharing my screen so you can get a hold of exactly what we're going to be studying in the Medium's Book. Hold on a second. Just need to prepare the computer for our enjoyment. You're no longer alone, studying alone. You and I are together. So here we are. Studying about the Medium's Book, okay? So as you and I are studying about the Medium's Book, hold on a second. I'm going to make this a little better. Okay, hold on. It's here with us, and here we go. The Medium's book has a subtitle, Experimental Spiritism. Who should study it? Every human being on earth. Your life's going to be 100% better if you know that you have some sort of mediumship. Everybody is a medium. And know what to do with it. So here he writes the Medium's Book or Manual for Mediums and Evokers. This book contains two parts. Part 1, Preliminary Observation, and Part 2, Spirit Manifestations. The first part has 4 chapters, the second, 32. In the introduction, Kardec explains to us that each and every day, experience confirms our opinion that the difficulties and disappointments encountered in the practice of Spiritism result from ignorance of the science's principles. So today we enter chapter 12 of part 2. It's named Pneumatography or direct writing and Pneumatophony. Why does Kardec use these words? Remember, he's a researcher, he's the first one naming these things, and pneumo means air, meaning that the writing comes from the air. The sound comes from the air. How so? He's going to say that pneumatography is defined as writing produced directly by a spirit without an intermediary. Yeah. Nobody held the pen or the pencil for the writing to come true, okay? And it's usually, he says, the non-spontaneous direct writing happens when we're meditating, when we are praying, or when we are evoking. That can happen. And if you ask, but Vanessa, why doesn't it happen nowadays? Because you're looking at the phone, because you're paying attention to social media, because if you retreat from those electronic stimulation and pay attention to the sounds, to this interaction with nature, you're going to be able to observe more about the mediumistic interactions. He says that overall, we need what we call mental concentration. Okay? We need mental concentration. So I want to spend a few moments here talking with you about this. Let's talk about this mental concentration. Nowadays, how many people actually focus, concentrate away from social media, away from any external stimulation? Very few people. But we must dedicate ourselves time for that. It's a form of detox, but it's also an opportunity for us to observe the interaction between two realms. Many people are not paying attention. They are not, because they are constantly, look, I have my phone here, right? Constantly looking at the phone, looking at the phone, looking at the tablet, looking at the computer. Stay away. Or the TV. Retreat. Okay, make it a goal. Make it a goal. At least 5 minutes a day. You can use your phone to prepare, set up the stopwatch. 5 minutes. Close your eyes. Breathe in and out. No music, no sound, no nothing. Stay there. 5 minutes. Do it for 1 week. Next week, try it 10 minutes. The other week, 15 minutes. No sound, no stimulation, By the way, we are super live here. If you want to communicate with us, I see some friends here. Carol Correa, Slavic. Come, write to us, ask questions, make your comments to make this moment super special. I see Elza Sueli as well here with us. So stay here with us. We're talking about mental concentration. Spirit phenomena cannot be perceived if we are in the husbands of everyday life. We need calm, inner observation. I'm not saying the whole day. 5 minutes a day, and then 10 minutes a day, and then you're going to enjoy so much that you're going to do it for half an hour, for an hour, and then possibly no more than an hour because we are all so busy doing 10,000 things, right? But Kardec says that the spirit phenomena usually happens when we are in this inner mode, this type of mediumship. How does direct writing happens? You remember Moses, right? Moses brought the 10 commandments on stones. Did Moses carved the stones? No. Through his mediumship, the spirits used his ectoplasm because Moses was a medium, and they did what we call direct writing. How does this happen? Kardec says in this type of writing, a spirit does not use our substances or instruments, meaning it's not going to use my hand, my pen, my pencil, my instrument. No, it's going to use our ectoplasm. We must have a medium for that. It's mediumship. But it's different from psychography, Kardec says. Because in psychography, you need the actual intervention of the medium to make the writing happen in a piece of paper, not direct writing. A spirit, says Kardec, produces what it needs by drawing. Let me make sure the screen is big enough for all of us. A spirit produces what it needs by drawing matter from the universal primitive element, which under the influence of the spirits will undergoes that necessary modifications to attain the desired effect. Some medium that may not even be aware of it. What are the characteristics of direct writing? He explains. Usually they are short. Direct writing is usually limited in terms of words and sentences. They are unintelligible symbols sometimes, and it can be in any language. They may show up in a piece of paper, on a board, and nobody wrote it. Nobody incarnated speaking. And sometimes we don't know how it came true. So lots of experiments were done in that regard in the 19th century by several scientists, including William James. Now, this is what we call pneumatography or direct writing. Again, let's not forget, this is not psychography. It's when a writing comes true in a piece of board or a piece of paper without the hand of a medium manifesting it. But usually these messages are short. Now, how about sounds? that happen without the intervention of instruments. That's what we call pneumatophony. Phony means sound. Pneuma means air. It comes in the air, the sound in the air. It's what we call the direct voice phenomena. It could be sounds of cries, vocal sounds, the imitation of human voice, and they are always spontaneous. Rarely they're evoked. Oh, make a sound, please. If there is a spirit here, please make a sound. If you say that, it's not going to happen. Because it doesn't happen in that way. Kardec observed that they are rarely evoked. This is after much experience. And the sounds that happen in the air, we're not talking about raps. We're talking about sounds of the human voice that is spoken and everybody hears, not only one person, everybody. Pneumatophony happens in two ways. Sometimes as an inner voice that resonates within us, and words outside of us, distinctly articulated. If you go to upstate New York, in the city of Lilydale, the spiritualist city, the Mecca of spiritualism in the United States of America, they have a museum. And in that museum, you're going to see the exhibit telling about how often they had phenomena of the type and others happening there, and people who witnessed it. But we need to have some form of caution. So today, Kardec is saying to us, we must avoid taking for occult voices all sounds with an unknown cause behind them or a simple ringing in the ears. This is 1861. And he says this ear ringing have a purely physiological cause. And if you go to the doctor nowadays, they explain what it is. Tinnitus. And they explain it, and they are not going to tell you it's spirit at all. You see how important it is to study this book. We're going to live better, healthier lives because we're not going to be gullible. We reason our mediumship. We don't believe anything. We observe the facts and analyze the language. And there is a rule. As a guiding principle, we can establish the fact. Only obviously intelligent effects can attest to the manifestation of spirits. So, friends, reasoning is the guiding star in our mediumship. It seems paradoxical that we are mediums and we have to reason our mediumship. But that's the only way we're going to be truly productive as mediums and safe. We're not going to believe just because, oh, did you hear that sound? Yeah, everything's a spirit, everything is an influence. No, remember, we have two worlds working together. So we need to have this caution, avoiding taking occult voices or sounds as being spirits. And remember, behind an intelligent effect, there is an intelligent cause. Is this it for this chapter? Pretty much. Kardec mentions in the chapter cases that happened at his time and previous times in different countries as well, including the United States of America, where it became very common in the 19th century to hear voices directly spoken. Clara Barnett, one of the spiritualist mediums that became quite famous in the United States in the area of Chicago. She reported about direct writing, and she reported about also pneumatophony, this direct voices phenomena as well. So for us today, what we need to know is, as we study about mediumship, more than anything else, it's vital that we reason our mediumship and that we work as a group. Mediumship alone, by ourselves, is not productive, but we need to study. And the medium's book is number one, is the first book we need to study to know what to do with our mediumship. And we're here together at Kardec Radio. Do you have any question? Do you have comments? I see friends. I see Felipe here too. Big hug, Felipe. I see Slavik here. I see Carol here. Elsa Sueli as well. So feel free to write to us if you want. Write to us comments, questions, either here or at kardecradio@gmail.com. And if you want to revisit previous chapters, this is a 30-minute lesson per week. How wonderful this is. It can't be shorter than this. Actually, sometimes it's a little shorter, like last week and this week. Next week, when we come back, we're going to study about psychography, one of the most common mediumistic phenomena that exists. Did you know it's the safest one? And it's the one that it's the safest and the most reliable, because once it's in the paper, there is no denying. It is already written. You can go back as many times as needed to observe the facts, analyze the language. So be ready. Chapter 13 is next week. For tomorrow, remember 18 years of Spiritism. How much are we grateful for Kardec and his courage to publish the Spirit's book in 1857, followed by the Medium's book in 1861, and followed by the Gospel according to Spiritism in 1864, Heaven and Hell, 1865, and finally, the Genesis, 1867. So you and I have 10,000 reasons to be grateful for. Let us cherish this. And this week, let us work on our mental concentration, shall we? Focusing for 5 minutes without any external stimulation. Just breathing in and out and feeling this focus of the mind in our essence as spirits. Are you afraid of doing this? Don't be, because you have guardian angels with you. They know that you are striving to open your senses to really understand your connection with the divine. Yes, Carol Correa is saying, may Kardec receive our gratitude. You're right, Carol. We're grateful to Kardec, so let us help people. Whomever we see, help them out as a tribute to Kardec and the new life that we're given. Right? Thank you, Carol. Thank you, friends. We wish you. Thank you, Stella. I can see Stella Ferreira here too. Thank you for this moment. So, rewinding the tape quickly, very quickly here. What are we going to do? Practice this, okay? Mental concentration. All right? We are going to practice mental concentration. 5 minutes per day, no phone, no TV, no sound, no nothing. just breathing in and out and perceiving our essence as spirits, and increasing every week, 5 more minutes every week, to see if we reach that state in which we can observe our interaction between two realms. Share with us, kardecradio@gmail.com. Thank you, friends, for the opportunity of being together. We look forward to seeing you next week for another study of the Medium's book.